New Hunger Games movie gets announcement. Keanu Reeves confirmed to return to John Wick. Jason Momoa reprises role in Dune Messiah Adaptation. And Warner Bros. Shows off a slate of new animated movies, including DC's dynamic duo. Here is what happened this week in nerd pop culture. I'm Carlos with Rabbit Nerd News. Hunger Games Sunrise on the Reaping is confirmed at Lionsgate. The odds were only kinda sorta in the favor of CinemaCon attendees on Tuesday morning as Lionsgate unveiled a new logo for the Hunger Games prequel, Sunrise on the Reaping, at the annual trade show for movie theater owners, but the studio stopped short of offering any major details, such as casting news or first look footage about the new film, which centers on Hamish Abernathy, portrayed by Woody Harrelson in the original saga, and will begin shooting over the summer. In the dramatic seconds-long clip, flames engulf a Mockingjay, a symbol of the resistance in the apocalyptic Panem that transforms into a snake, another important emblem in the Hunger Games world, as Harrelson delivers the ominous voiceover.
I think these games are going to be different.
Based on Suzanne Collins' novel of the same name, Sunrise on the Reaping will revisit the world of Panem nearly a quarter of a century before the events of the original Hunger Games saga. Keanu Reeves is coming back for John Wick 5. Though John Wick definitely seemed dead by the end of his last high-stakes adventure, that no longer appears to be the case. During its presentation at this year's CinemaCon, Lionsgate announced that it had greenlit production on yet another John Wick feature that will see Keanu Reeves return to reprise his role as the Baba Yaga. Though Lionsgate has not yet shared any plot details or any other casting announcements, longtime John Wick director, producer Chad Stahelski, and producers Basil Iwanick and Erica Lee are attached on the project. In addition to a new live-action movie centering John Wick in the present, the larger John Wick brand will continue to grow with an animated prequel starring Reeves that tells the story of how he once completed the impossible task, the franchise's terminology for killing all of one's rivals in a single night. Lionsgate has also tapped Donnie Yen to both star in and direct a live-action solo spin-off built around the blind assassin character Kane, who first appeared in John Wick Chapter 4. Dune star Jason Momoa confirms return for Dune Messiah. Denis Villeneuve recently revealed that his adaptation of Dune Messiah, though the movie will likely end up being titled Dune Part 3, will be his next project. Pre-production has been underway for some time, and filming is expected to commence later this year. Jason Momoa's Duncan, Idaho, was killed off towards the end of Dune Part 1, but the Aquaman star has now revealed that he will reprise the role for the third film. During a press interview for the Minecraft movie, Mamoa said this.
Well, I'm not sure if I'm going to get in trouble or not, but it's the same thing like Game of Thrones, you know what I mean? If you didn't read the books, it's not my fault, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got, there's going to be, I'm going to be coming back.
Duncan, Idaho's making a comeback.
I'm making a comeback. You heard it first right here with you, baby.
Man, that's huge. You just made a lot of people very,
You got
very
me in
happy.
trouble.
Val Kilmer, film star, dies at 65. Val Kilmer, a homegrown Hollywood actor who tasted leading man stardom as Jim Morrison in Batman, but whose protean gifts and elusive personality also made him a high-profile supporting player, died on Tuesday in Los Angeles. He was 65. Rest in peace, Val Kilmer. Zach Braff and Natalie Portman reunite, celebrate Garden State soundtrack at the 20th anniversary concert. If you were a young person when Garden State was released in 2004, you might have wanted to be at this concert. Zach Braff and Natalie Portman reunited for a special one-night-only experience to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Garden State, the romantic comedy drama. The duo joined forces with several music artists for a March 29 concert at the Greek Theater in Los Angeles, which featured performances from The Shins, Iron and Wine, Frou Frou, Colin Hay, Thievery Corporation, Remy Zero, Carey Brothers, Bonnie Somerville, and Sophie Barker, all of whom performed songs for the movie's soundtrack, one of the most celebrated parts of the movie. The night's proceeds benefited the LA-based homeless shelter, The Midnight Mission. Coldplay, whose music appears on the soundtrack, was absent from the show as the band is currently on a world tour. Instead, Laufey took the stage for a rendition of Coldplay's Don't Panic. Warner Bros. Shocks fans with Looney Tunes, Flintstones, and Tom and Jerry news, among other movies. After such an upsetting March for Looney Tunes fans, thanks to Warner Bros., the animation sector of the company appears to have amazing news. not just for the acclaimed franchise but also for 2 more classics. During their presentation as part of CinemaCon 2025, it was announced that the new animated movies based on the Looney Tunes, the Flintstones, and Tom and Jerry, as well as originals like Melissa McCarthy's Margie Claus and musical comedy Bad Fairies, are now in the works. Kicking off Warner's Seussiverse is the Cat in the Hat theatrical feature, slated for release on March 6, 2026, starring Bill Hader as the iconic cat, followed by Thing 1 and Thing 2, and it seems like there are going to be more things in the style of the Minions. Oh, The Places You'll Go, another classic Seuss children's book, was also confirmed yesterday. Dynamic Duo, an animated movie that features Dick Grayson and Jason Todd as the 2 first Robins as dual protagonists, was included in the presentation. From around the internet, the footage apparently showed the Batmobile for the first time in the DCU. Dynamic Duo was announced back in October of 2024. Currently, neither of the 2 Robins have been cast. Warner Brothers also took the stage at CinemaCon in 2025 Las Vegas to announce non-animated productions. The company came with tons of announcements. First looks at The Bride, a fresh take on The Bride of Frankenstein that stars Jessie Buckley, Christian Bale, and Penelope Cruz, and also will be a musical. Final Destination Bloodlines, Mortal Kombat 2, The Conjuring, Last Rites, and F1 Brad Pitt's driving heavy drama were all shown. The long-awaited Batman Hush 2 begins. DC Comics' sequel to the iconic Hush storyline, kicking off what looks to be a major Batman character death. In Batman 158, written by Jeff Loeb and illustrated by Jim Lee, Batman confronts the Joker, who unexpectedly repeats one of his earliest crimes involving the infamous Jokerfish. However, an even greater surprise comes when the arrival of a massive figure known as the Silence, who ruptures Joker's eardrums using only words before abducting the notorious villain while Batman remains preoccupied. The chapter takes a shocking turn as Joker undergoes torture and potentially meets his end at the hands of Hush himself. Only time will tell. Regardless of the overall permanency, the potential and likely death of the Joker is certainly an epic way to kick off this new Hush sequel. If you love nerd pop culture, whether it's movies, TV shows, or comics, subscribe to Rabbit Nerd News by Colistica and follow our social media accounts.